Welcome. My name is Chaitra Holi. I'm a technical consultant for OpenRoads. Let's get started with the OpenRoads Designer. The intent of this video is to outline the process of the detailed designing a project using the OpenRoads Designer. Once you open up the OpenRoads Designer product, you see all the recent files on the left. You could browse your files. You could create your own file. Over here in OpenRoads Designer, all the civil data is now stored in a single file format, that is a DGN file. Now in order to create a new file, I would require to assign a workspace and workset. That is what you see over here, no workspace and no workset. So what is this workspace and workset? So workspace is nothing but your set of design standards, maybe your country codes. You may be working on a particular project or a company standards or an organization standards. So when I drop down under this workspace, so you see all this list of standards. So it depends on whatever installers you might have installed based on the country codes. So let me select for this project as training and examples. Now, and over here for the work set is nothing but your project name, what you give over here. You could create your work set, create your own project name by going over here, or by selecting, say, I'll go ahead by considering it as a training metric. And now I'll go ahead and select a new file in the ORD demo, ORD folder. So over here, I am going to create a DGN file for a terrain in order to import the tin file which was being exported in OpenRoads concept station. I want to get that into OpenRoads Designer. So I'll create a DGN file in the name of terrain, and always remember when you'll be creating your terrain file, make sure that you select the seed as 3D. So you have this metric 2D and 3D. So select as 3D and save this. Now it extracts the data from this path, from the C path based on that workspace. So now we are into OpenRoads Designer workflow platform. If I give us a fit view, you see it as a blank DGN. Because I've just created it as a blank DGN, neither imported or referenced any of the files. Before showing, start importing my terrain file from the OpenRoads concept station. So under this folder, under the input folder, I have created two folders. One with an export file from the OpenRoads concept station, that is a tin file where I'll be importing this in order to create my terrain. And one is the geometric files where we had created the main road, the secondary road, all the cloverleaf ramps and the direct ramps, which is being stored under as .alg file, which also I'll be importing during the geometry process. So just close this, go back to the OpenRoads Designer. So before we start up with the terrain importing, let me give you a brief. See what are the tools and tools being present in this OpenRoads. So OpenRoads tools can be accessed a varieties of ways, including the familiar kind of ribbon interface. So this ribbon interface is arranged by the workflows where you see on this top left corners. So you have these menus of workflows. You click any workflows, the ribbon tabs gets arranged based on the workflow you choose. So for the OpenRoads designing process, we always choose this OpenRoads modeling. So you have these many tabs. Home tab where you will find the Explorer, the attached tools, reference tools, the model tools, the level tools, where you can check your on and off your layers. So these many element selection tools, the element manager templates can be managed over here. Level manager can be utilized using under the home tab. Apart from this under the terrain tab, you'll be utilizing these tools in order to create the terrain or import from the file or using this graphical filters. So you have all these tools in order to create the terrain. Next is the geometric tab where you'll be utilizing these tools in order to create your horizontal tools as well as the vertical tools for the vertical geometry. And also you have some general tools where you could export and import and export if you already have an alignment file from the Bentley legacy products in order to import into your OpenRoads Designer to move into your further designing process. Then you have corridors where you'll be assigning your typical cross sections to the alignment using this create categories. Then you could also edit the templates and edit those assigned templates to your alignment, and then you also create a super elevation to that alignment making use of this all tools. So for the any of the intersection design where you want to create, you will be making use of this civil cells tools over here. Once all the processing is being done, at last when you want to generate your sheets, whatever you when you're into a final stage, so you could make use of this tools from the drawing productions mainly used for the name bonded. So if you are very new to the OpenRoads Designer and you don't know exactly where exactly the tools are being placed, there's also a very search ribbon box where you could search. Say I want to create a super elevation. I'll just key in the word and it will show me all the list of the tools where it is available. Instead of choosing, just hover my mouse over that key in word, and over here which it shows me the flow under the OpenRoads modeling workflow under the corridors tab and under the super elevation categories. You have a create tool. You could make directly use of this, or double clicking on this would directly take you to that command. Then you have this explorer and the properties tools, so which are useful as and when you do the drawing. Have this 8 kinds of views in order to review your work in 2D, 3D profiles, cross sections, which can be opened simultaneously in order to review your work. So right now we are in view 1, which is a default 2D view over here. Let's go ahead and import the terrain from the concept station output file. For that, I have to go under this OpenRoads modeling workflow and terrain and choose from file. Over here, I'll go under this input folder, terrain, and I have this tin file. And I'll select done. So once this has been done, it will ask me list of the options. Source of option, I'm working in meters. Let me take this. And what is that feature definition you want to apply? Feature definition is nothing but like as you populate your design files using this OpenRoads, these feature definitions are used to define the representation of how these objects will appear in 2D profile cross sections and 3D. So these are defined in MicroStation DGN libraries, and these can also be reviewed in your Explorer dialog. Right now, let me go ahead and show you under this terrain you have existing and proposed. So what terrain we are going to import is the existing survey file. So under existing you have this list of feature definition like how you want to display your terrain. So you could want to display your contours and triangles or boundary. Let me just select it as a contours and let this input option be terrain. So I won't choose anything else and go ahead and select it as import. So import process is complete. I would come out of this window and now give this fit button. This data is taken from that geo coordinate service in concept station rather than from the surveyor, which has a total station data as a separate drawing file. I'm not utilizing that. So once this terrain is being imported, so when I click my mouse or hover my mouse on the boundary, will select that thing and just move my mouse over that. So you will see this menu over here where you could look at the properties of that the terrain file. You set as an active terrain. If you want to update the source, if you have made any changes to the survey file, the terrain file, you could update it and it gets changed. So right now let me go ahead in this properties over here. So you have this feature name. You could change this feature name over here. Say I'll give this as a terrain file, and I don't want to display this into contours. Let's say I want to display it just as a boundary. The moment you select, it will get changed. So it is that dynamic that you could change using this properties tab. You could make the changes. Say you want to the triangulation files. Right now you go ahead and give this as a boundary file. So as soon as I click over here, Explorer, under this OpenRoads Design Modeling, so you have this been terrain been created. So whatever you start designing over in this display, it will start showing in this project. I'm sorry, it will start displaying over here. So under this alignments, we have not created any alignments, neither corridors. So you don't see any the drop down box. Only for the terrain models you see over here, where I've given as an existing boundary terrain from where it is being imported. You'll all get the details over here. So this will help you to browse and manage the content. Just come out of this. Now it is that we have done with our terrain. I'll just save this once and then you could close over here. Let's go ahead and then now create a geometric file. So let's move ahead in order to create a geometric file. So we'll keep this workspace and the workset same. Now we'll go over here in order to create a new file in the same folder where I've created a terrain. Now it is that I'll create my geometry. Now select my seed as 2D. For rest of the things what you may create for the geometric or the corridor or the super elevation DGN files, you could directly choose it as a 2D file. Just open it. So over here, if you see, if I give a fit view, again it is a blank DGN file. So before I start up with importing of my alignment files, so let me refer the terrain file which was being created, where I'll go over here and give this as a coincident world and give it as an OK. Now give a fit view. You could see that boundary file over here. Now let me import my alignment file. So for that I'll go under this geometric tab and give it as an import geometry. Under this import geometry I'll choose this alignment file. So at the moment you select this, you see that in the name of option 1, so we had created a file name or the project name in the name of option 1 in concept station. So under which, if I top down this, you see these many roads were being created in the concept station, so which also has a profile data in this. So you could just tick mark whatever the roads you want to import or select the whole one and you could import the entire alignment files being created in the concept station to your OpenRoads Designer. So once you're done selecting with this complete alignment file, make sure that you check this as create civil rules in order to make any further edits in the OpenRoads Designer. So now the process of importing all the alignment files is being done, and you could see all the alignments are being imported over here. So you could, if you're creating this method is just importing any alignment files. If you want to create your own geometric file, horizontal geometry, you could make use of this. Let me go ahead and create this as an active profile. Now create. So now the moment I had clicked it as an active 3D, now you see active file, sorry. Now you could see that view to as default 3Ds. You could also view the same under this home tab, the models. You see these are two types. As soon as you create it as an active profile, you see this as default as a 2D view and the 3D view be created. Now let us go and assign the feature definition. You want, in order to represent how you want to view in 2D, 3D or profile or cross section views. So for that, so under this geometric toolbar, under the general tools categories, you have the standard toolbar, and you could select this feature definition toolbar over here. So that toolbar I've already selected and docked over here. I'll first select, so when I go under this feature definition, so I'll select under the preliminary and under the alignment and select as a geometric baseline, or this is as a my master string. So I'll select over here, set this in active. So that will take whatever the moment you set this as an active, so whatever new horizontal line you draw will directly take this as your feature definition rather than assigning. Over here, we have already imported, so we need to assign the feature definition for each and individual roads. So now I'll go and select the set feature definition. Now if you see, you will get a heads up display where it says me to locate the element. I'll just select this main road and reset to complete. In OpenRoads Designer, the left click mouse button is already is always a accept one, and anything you want to reset command or escape or come out of any command, then you have to click on your right click mouse button. So now over here it is saying me to reset, so then I'll go ahead and click my right click mouse. The moment I click accept this, now you see that it is turned into red color because I have assigned this feature definition. It is representing me red color based on the DG and lib files being set up in that workspace. Similarly, you could also view the changes in this 3D view. Let me go ahead and select the same feature definition for this and reset over here. Now also you see the same thing. But for this crossroad, I'll just select it once again over here. So even this secondary road is being represented as a red line. So quickly select in the similar manner, select it as a ramp and select my feature definition for rest of the things. So over here you have assigned the feature definition for all the roads being imported. And just come escape this and come out of this command. Or the moment you select any of the road, you see this manipulators, text manipulators being shown over here depending upon what type of an element you're choosing. Over here it shows me the zero chainage where it starts 500 meters. You could see the radius over here, so it shows me all the text the moment you click on any of the element. So let's move ahead in order to edit my horizontal design. Say in the case you want to design this, you had just conceptually designed it in the concept station where your preliminary design without considering much into the standards as per your country codes. Or say you might be working with your ASTO standards and you want to see whether that it is as per standards, whether the values what are being assigned in concept stations, whether are they following with respect to the standards. Then these design standards assist the designer to monitor the required curvature and other checks when performing the geometric link. So where do you find these standards? So under the same general tools of the geometric tab, you have this design standard toolbar, which also I have docked over here. Say I'll go under this. Over here, this training and metric has a workspace has this UK design standards as well as the Astro standards. So for this project, let us proceed for considering it as a two-lane Astro project for standards. So under this, let me select it is again bifurcated into based on the maximum super elevation to be provided and also the speed. So let me consider the 4% super elevation and consider the main drone design speed. What was being considered while designing in concept station was 100 kph. So I shall select that and I have set that active design standards. So once you're done with this, now set is a design standards. I am assigning that this alignment should follow with respect to that standards. So whatever values are being given in that standards. So how far it is deviating from that standards will be seen over here. So once you're done assigning to that, you see now you'll be able to see this warning sign along the alignment and the error sign over here. The moment I hover my mouse over the error, it says me that arc radius is less than the minimum. As per the design standard value, it should have been 492 meters and actual value what we have provided is 450 meters. So you could directly click over here to the alignment and click on that value and you could directly text edit over here and say I give it as a 500. Now you don't see that error sign over here. You could also view this error signs by going under this standard civil message center. It is showing me this all warning signs where it is saying that I have not provided any spiral lengths between the tangent and the arc. So this civil message center provides me the feedback on varieties of issues that can affect the design process, such as errors in construction and design standards that have been violated. Just come out of this. Now in order to edit, now I want to add a spiral to this. You could either go and edit under this geometry type is table editor, locate the alignment, under this 500 radius and give a spiral length. Say I'm gonna give a spiral length of 20 and back transition length. You would notice in that 2D view in the alignment a spiral length is being created. Rest of the alignment is in highlighted in yellow, whereas that spiral length is being highlighted in the red portion. So you could do this, assign this apply over here and come out of the window. Still, you could see this warning sign. Earlier, the warning sign was showing that missing transition spiral between this tangent and the curve. Now, if you see, there is a different warning sign it is been showing over here. It says that transition length is less than the default. As per the design standard, it should be 33, and what I have provided is 20. You could directly go over here, click on this, click on that 20, give it as 40, and you see that warning sign vanishes. So in this way you could make the um, changes as per the standards by reviewing it through the civil message center, by knowing what all are the standards which are being violated, and make changes with respect to the codes. Or else if there is, say, as per the site condition, there is that you have to deviate with respect to the standards, you could keep the same values. So similarly, let me go ahead and set this design standards over here. The moment I select over here, I find the same. Click on this. It's showing transition is missing. Now I'll select all the properties. It shows me the 1000 radius. Let me go ahead and select the spiral. Select it as 30 or 30. So now you don't see that. If you want to know what are the design standards applied for the each alignment, you could go to this alignment under the geom baseline, that is my main line and the secondary lane, and I go for this north south road now. So it shows me that what is the design standard I've applied for that. You could remove that design standard and assign a different design standard using this, going to the explorer. Let's move ahead in order to create the vertical designs. So in order to review this, I'll select this and open it in the submit file. View over here, tiles. The moment you click this as an active profile, you could view over here your existing ground in the profile view. Over here also, when I select, you'll see all the text manipulators that can be viewed over here and make edits directly over here. You could also assign the design standards in the similar way that is been assigned to your horizontal geometry. Let me select this, go under the properties, and just change the feature definition or review the feature definition what has been assigned. Over here, I don't want to select this now. I'll go under this linear profiles geom baseline. That makes the changes how it should be represented in the profile view. So once this is done, okay, as soon as you set the design standards for even for your profile, you could see that errors also being displayed over here. It says that crest is less, actual value should be 52, what we have provided is 30.44. You could either go and make any changes or move ahead with your design. Right now I'm not going to show any changes with the vertical profile, so I'll move ahead with this. So once you're done with your horizontal and vertical, you may want to extract the horizontal and the vertical report. For that, under the while selecting this horizontal alignment, you could go ahead and select this report, where you could view the station, the northing, easting. So report type, based on what type of template is that of horizontal report, you could export it that way. You could there are different types of reports in order to export it. Um, Say right now I'll move ahead with this horizontal report, and you could also make changes the how you want to appear the station type, the way it is been given. You could go under this format options and make necessary changes over here, how the station points to be applied. In this way also you could do. Let me export this. Save as another desktop. Let me give this as horizontal report for north south road, and select it as an Excel file. In a similar way, you could export your vertical profile. Where it shows me the VIP points, the tangents, the grades being used, elevation at that point, and what is the formulas being used in order to calculate the K. So all the details you can be seen over here. So you also have different types of vertical templates too, based on what type of or what you want to output. You also get that horizontal alignment name and what is that feature definitions you have been assigned to that. So right now let me take this review of this and save this as vertical report for north south. So we are done with the horizontal and vertical and also exporting of the reports too. Yes, we shall move ahead with creating a corridor and assigning the cross section elements or the typical cross sections to the our corridor. For that, let's say we have a bridge portion over here, what we had created in the concept station. So I'll run a template over here. For that, we need to use this corridors tab. So what are these templates actually? Templates are nothing but your dynamical typical cross sections used in corridor modeling that uses the transverse geometry in order to create your 3D model. I'll just rotate it. Right now you won't be able to see because I haven't assigned anything. Okay. For that, the steps what we follow is that first we create a corridor. Now it is asking me to heads up display say that create locate an corridor baseline. So I'll choose this string. Now it is asking locate the profile or reset for the active profile. I'll just come out of this command and show whether I have given this as an active profile. So this was my east-west road. I'll just select on that. Yes, it is already been selected as an active profile. There may be a chances that for this alignment you might have done a worked out within various options, creating a multiple vertical profiles over here, and want to check with respect to the quantities how it may vary. So in during that time, so it becomes necessary in order to select your active profiles. So once you're done with your vertical profile edits and creation of that, when you hover your mouse, make sure that you select the active profile in which you want to proceed with, and that active profile can be changed with number of options what are being created over here. So let me do it again. Now for the corridor purpose, let me come in this view one, create corridor, create this, select this alignment, and now it is asking me to locate the profile or reset for active profiles. I already have that active profile and I want to make use of that profile itself. So I'll right click. Now it is asking me the feature name, East West Road. It's fine to proceed with this. It is directly taking the horizontal name. Now if you see, it has created me a corridor, whatever you see in yellow color. The moment the corridor is created, it moves to the next command where you will be creating the assigning the template drops. You could also go over here, or you could come out of this command and you could assign a template drop at the later stage. Right now, I'll select a template, a typical cross section that should be assigned to this. So under this, if you see here in the text context heads up display, you could see that on the right side, three dots where you could access, browse what are the list of the templates been available in this workspace. For that, I would press Alt and down arrow, where you'd see this all the list of the templates over here, components and conditions, which I'll be showing you once I apply this. What are these? So under this, you have rail ramps, rurals, tunnels and urbans. So let us go ahead and select under rural and select with concrete with this, and under undivided, let me select this as 2 lanes. The moment whatever you select, that preview will be shown onto your right side window, and click OK. Once you're done in selecting the template, now it is now accept it, left click that. Now it is asking me to choose from the start and the end. So in order to, if you are applying a single template throughout your alignment, so it is better to select as Alt in order to lock your first change, accept it. Alt, press Alt again in order to accept your end change and accept it. Now it is asking me for the drop intervals. So you could make a changes at what intervals you want to run your cross sections. Let me go ahead and select this as a 20 interval. Select this. You could notice the changes in the 3D view now. The moment I applied the cross section template and how based on the feature definition it has been assigned, you could see how it can be viewed over here in a similar way, how it is being able to view in this 3D view. If closely look in, you could see the cross section elements along with the earthwork slopes being that can be seen over here. So now you would want to know like where exactly these templates have been present and how could I review those templates. For that, under this corridor tabs, under this create categories, you have a template box where you'll choose as a create template. So this will take me as into a separate template window where this template file, or if you see at the end it is .itl file, civil templates metric .itl file. So this has been taken from the workspace of the terrain training and templates, where all your cross section data what are being created over here, where it is being stored in the .itl file format. So over here onto your left, you'll see all the libraries being present in this .itl file, and to your right side you see your working areas, the present templates being selected from this libraries where you want to make any changes or work with, so that will be present over here. So right now we had gone to the rural undivided and selected this as a 2 lane. So if you the moment you double click, that opens, that becomes your active template, which is shown by a red box. anything apart from this. If you want, right now this red box is still on, that means you're working under this template itself. And if you want to preview other templates by say I have selected over here, that is can be displayed here. The preview, this is a preview window over here. So we go over here where I've selected a two lane. So this template is composed, templates are usually composed of the points and the component properties. So what which have been constrained by horizontally, vertically, slopes, etc. This is a point. If I click on that, double click on that point, you could be able to view those point properties, how it is being defined. You could see over here that it has two constraints, the slope and horizontal, with respect to your central line. So in this way, you're based on the constraint types and the labels been assigned, you're going to create your cross section elements by creating a typical cross section. At any time you could change your feature definition over here with the feature names, how you want it to appear in this way. If you see right now the width of this payment is 3.65 and given as a payment width left. So once these have been, you could make the edits in this, making use of this parametric constraints or the labels what are being assigned over here, and quickly change the width. In a similar way, you could also change the width depths of the payments over here. Once is done, and whatever the earthwork slopes are being assigned over here based on the logical reasoning and assigned here can be tested using this button. So anything changes you make over here, you make sure that you save it before you exit of this from this window. And you could also, if you have a separate ITL files being saved, a different ITL file that you want to make use in this alignment in this project, you could also make use by going under the file and opening that ITL file. So just give a brief intro about this templates. Just I'll close this. So I have created a single one now. Now I want to create a bridge portion in this between. So for that, let me also, I want to know the extent of the bridge span length. I'll go under this page and just from the reference, the output what was being taken is coincident one. Just click OK. So this is also a concept station output file what has been considered, where I can, the moment I have my mouse over here, this shows me the level as bridge. So where is the my bridge extent? Right now, under this geometry what I'm working, I'm sorry, reference what I'm working, I'll just switch it off and just quickly add the changes to this. For that, I'll go into this drawing tab, drawing annotation element, select this element and reset it. The moment you see, you could see the that alignment being annotated with respect to the chain edges and also with the curve tables being shown over here. Okay, let's go ahead and add even the bridge template. Let me switch it on the extent where I want to add the bridge portion. In a similar manner, go under this corridor. Now add a new template. So whatever you see this in yellow handles, it created is your corridor. So for this corridor, I want to add one more template and alt down. And under this components, you have this bridge options. Say I will select this 30-feet bridge over here and accept it. Now it is asking me for the chain edge. Using this snap tools, where I want to start, and select this starting chain edge. and the end change, and give the drop interval as 20 interval. And once this is done, I don't require, just remove this reference. Now you see that earthwork portion is being removed over here. In the similar way, now you could see the bridge portion being created in the 3D view also. You could see that 3D view over here. Right now, a default 3D is also been created, which shows me all these transverse lines. Just I'll switch them off. So you could make use of this point controls in order to make a taper portion, and the parametrics in order to edit the depth of portions. So once that you are done with this, and also create an horizontal a template to this. Also create a corridor. Yes, not south road. Yes, proceed with this. On with this. Select the templates. Rural. Undivided. Could proceed with the same thing. Accept this. And to select the first and end image. Now you'll also notice that a road has been created below this bridge. Right now I don't require this profile. I'll move ahead in order to view the cross sections. I'll just click the corridor. Now it is asking me accept display. I'll select the open view. Go ahead and select this. Now cross section view can be viewed. So you could simultaneously view this as and when the you could see the cyan handles moving. It shows the as and when you move the changes, even in 2D and 3D views, that changes move. You could view over here. Now it is that we have assigned the templates. Let's move ahead and now assign the super elevation sections to this. For that, under the corridor tab, under the super elevation section, create as super elevation sections. Give it as I want to give it north south super elevation section, and select this feature definition as super elevation. And create the corridor. Now you could choose the XML file, whatever the super elevation equations are being stored based on the astro methods have been stored in the form of XML file, where you'll be able to browse down and you'll be able to browse. So this workspace has this 2011 astro XML and 2018 XML file. So I'll choose this open, and also in this dialog box you could see the name from where the tool file has been opened, the maximum E sections what has been considered for this alignment, and how is that position that you would want to assign based on the speed tail or relative gradient. Let's say we'll select the speed tables. What is the design speed you want to consider for this alignment, and the pivot method. So once you're done with reviewing and selecting assigning respective inputs, accept this. Now over here it is asking me the minimum tangent length. This tangent length is nothing but between the two curves. What is the length of the tangents? If you input this as 0, so for every curves it will create a number of super elevation sections. So this would be useful when you want to, if, when your single alignment may have a two different speeds, one or more than a one different speeds, and you want to create a separate section. So separate superation rule file should to be applied based on your design speed. In that case, based on the minimum tangent among the entire alignment between the two curves, you could give that so as to create the super elevation sections based on your design speeds that location. Right now, my entire alignment is having a single design speed, so I shall give it as a maximum of 1000 and accept it. The moment you're done with the process, you see a green boundary around that. So that is nothing but your super elevation section. So in this templates, already a super elevation flags have been created. So you do not have to create a super elevation lanes for this. Instead of that, I'll skip this option and even this option because already a road template has been assigned to this alignment. If you click over here, the moment you click on any of this, you would also notice the super elevation values being assigned where exactly your super elevations may change from 2%. Now it is increasing to 3.4%. So using this text manipulators also over here, you could make changes by editing over here. So over here, how it is being considered that this edge of pavement itself should be super elevated with respect to your center line. This is being taken when while creating a template, you check a super elevation flag to that point where you want to super elevate with respect to your center line. So once you're done, one thing is that you could review it from your uh, 2D view. And also once the superelevation flag has been created, you could also notice that two magenta lines have been created. This shows my superelevation flag points as and when you move. So let me say I want to directly move over here. You could directly go to that point over here. And you could see this point has been super elevated. But you're not seeing what is that super elevated value. In order to view that, right click over here and place a temporary dimension lines for that. Select between two lines. Start creating, placing a temporary dimension lines. Right click to come out of that window. So now you see a rollover value is been given to this point. Hence, when it is super elevated to your RHS, so this goes down. Whereas this is on your inner side of the curve, this is moving with respect to that edge of the shoulder in the same line. As and when super elevation values changes, so you could see those values over here. So now that you were able to view, create this templates, assign the typical cross sections to your alignment, and then also assigning the super elevation sections, you are able to view the your super elevation values over here. You could edit in 2D view. Also, you could edit in something called as super elevation editor. It is asking me to locate the super elevation section, which acts as a separate window where it shows in a graphically a super elevation diagrams where you could not be able to edit over here, and it shows that what is that point super elevation flags or what was been assigned over here. That name is this feature name is being taken with respect to the file template creation. You could view over here and make necessary changes in this over here also. Also, we have something called a super elevation view where it could open in as a view which shows me in a super elevation diagram. The moment I click on any of this diagram, you see a text manipulators. The moment I click on any of the super elevation diagram, you could be able to view in form of text manipulators where you could change the values over here also, which will update you in your 3D drawing as well as in your plan. So dynamically it gets updated over here. And also which side of the lane that it is displaying. LHS and RHS, you could if you want to edit only the LHS or the inside curve or the outside curve based on what you're going to do based on the superrelation diagram. In order not to get confused when you have a long stretch of a road, you could make use of this lane display. Right now, not required. I'll go for this 1 plus 2 to 0 over here, where it is ahead. It is 265, where it is showing me the super elevation of 3.4%. Instead of 3.4%, say I give a super elevation value of 4% and enter over here. The moment I make changes over here, that got updated over here. One sec. That was on the 26 over here. That gets automatically updated over here. You could notice over here. It got updated to 4. In this way, from 3 to 4, you could easily make dynamically update by changing any of the views, either 2D view or the diagram view that is seen updated in your cross section as well as in plan. So once you're done with this, you could generate your super elevation report by going and selecting this. Over here you have all the list of this cross slopes been applied, data has been where exactly has been taken. So I'll just go ahead and save this. Super elevation report. Okay, once you're done with this, now you could remove the quantity of the entire road by selecting the corridor, going ahead and selecting the corridor component quantities. So where it will list out based on your components being created in your templates. and shows what all are the volume, surface areas, and the quantities. Estimate cost can be shown for that corridor name. You could change your values, unit cost, and the your unit total estimate cost gets updated. If you want to view in detail, you could go over here. So this goes with respect to your chainage wise at an every 20 meters based on the drop intervals what we had given. So it gives me the quantities. We'll save even this one, quantities of NS road. So once you're done with this, just come out. Now now we'll do a one in placing of an intersection. For that we'll go under this modeling and detailing where I want to create a T section. Move ahead with this. So I'll select this place civil cell, which opens up me the dialog box of civil plate. I'll go under this drop down, browse this. So these are all the default um, civil cells being created. So these are nothing but your dynamic civil cells. This gets been changed based on your orientation of your alignment, change of an alignment. It gets based on that. Changes gets updated with respect to your orientations. It's just not a block, static block. It's a dynamic block over here, a civil block. So right now let us look out into the T intersection under this T rural where you have two red lines and the rest of the black lines. Two red lines refers to that you need to choose two reference lines in order to create this. So I'll go ahead. Now it is asking me to choose the through road. So over here my through road will be my edge of the pavement over here, and the reference element of the road central line is my secondary road. The moment I select, it is showing me a direction over here and it's created. It's showing how the skeleton will look of the T intersection. So it is showing select the elements to view the alternatives based on the arrow mark if you don't want. If you want to create this another way based on the direction, you could select this. Right now I'm okay with this. I'll reset to skip this. Now it is asking me to select the corridor to be clipped. I want to clip my earthwork with this with respect to your mainline corridor. I'll select this. Now you could notice that and reset to complete that. Accept the civil placement. Now it will create me that only that portion. Approach length portion intersection will be created. Now you could see that over here it is being created now. So my artwork has been clipped to the main road alignment. So in this way you could also remove the report of this by selecting the quantities reports in a similar way. In a similar way, you could also design with the other roads, ramps, vertical, horizontal, vertical templates, creation, assigning the supervision. The same steps we follow to this ramp portions. So once we are done with this road, let's go ahead and create the drawing sheets. For that, I would choose this drawing production tab, go under this name boundaries. I shall close off this cross sections right now and type this. And first I'll be moving ahead in creating the plan sheets under this name boundaries. So you have these various tabs in order to create a plan sheets, profile sheets, cross section at one particular point can be used. So I'll select this in order to create a plan and choose that I want in a sheet of both plan and profile. So I would choose the same one, plan and profile. Under this I'm working in plan. So I'll select this. Now over here, let me create it as a horizontal alignment, profile names. So, and once you're done with this, and choose it as left and right offset. What is that offset to extent which you want to make a viewport? Select that. Now when I come into the 2D view, just switch off the fill portions. Okay. Now I'll select this alignment, but then we took the name as NS row. Now I'll choose the distance. Now you would notice that it will start creating a boundaries with respect to this length. At every 350 meters length, it will create me a rectangular box. So that will be my viewport of that particular sheet. Now I'll let me go ahead and select the station. So if I zoom in, you could see this is an horizontal distance, and you could notice that every 350 meters length it has been created. And accept this. Once you're created, I'll not check this create alignment. Instead I'll just accept this. Once this is done, uh, let me also create for the profile. I'll go over here and open its profile. In order to create the profile, you would require this. Go over here now, go into the profile. Now I'll select, I want the same plan profile, but profile I'll be working in. Give this name as vertical profile over here. Now under this method, you could either choose your length of the pages over here in creating the viewports, the boundaries, or based on whatever the profile uh, length is been given. So only that length of the vertical profile should be seen in seen below that plan. So you could choose this from plan group. Then you could select this NS row, what is the plan what we had created earlier, and based on that you could use this tick on this verticals. Active verticals is whatever finalized vertical to which the levels will be assigned. Bottom clearance, how much is that? Once this is done, come into the profile view and select that profile. So by itself it will create the length based on your horizontal distances being created. Whatever the length of an alignment is being displayed in that particular viewport in plan, that much station length will be selected in your profile. Once this is done, let me select this. So I have placed both horizontal and vertical boundaries. Now I've not created any drawing sheets. When I open this, now you see this, you see the drop downs when you create. I've not created any cross section groups, so you don't see any drop down. For the plans, you could see where I've created NS rows, and in the preference NS rows using this plant group, I've created a verticals. So I could just switch on this and create a sheets now. Now if I drop down this, you'll see that link profile groups. So with respect to this plan, I have linked my profile lens over here. So I'll right click over here and give it as a create plan and profile drawing. So new dialog box will open, like where you can review and make the further processing. Let this annotation group be plan over here. Let it be to the framed profile. And let me check this to the moment you select, the processing will take place now. So once this has been done, now you will see the sheet models, a layout in a layout mode where you could be able to view. So these are all your sheet models. So whatever you see in white color are your sheet models and gray colors as your drawing models. So type of design files OpenRoads utilizes is where you could also view at the start. I had also shown on the models you had only viewed this default 2D and 3D. Now whatever you see in gray sheets are your drawing models. So these are used to apply your annotations where it stores subset of 2D and 3D design models or design compositions. And what you see in this white colors, so this is for plotting purpose only. It serves as an electronic drawing sheet and is used to define a printed output ready for printing or publishing. So once you're done with this, and now you see over here your profile band is being overlapped on your title block. So you could make changes over here by going under the reference. The moment it has two references in this. So these references have been taken from the your drawing models, and in turn the drawing models, the view whatever working design files has been referenced into your drawing models. In order to move this, let me select the next one, and you could use the move option and take it up. Similarly, do it for the other one, just showing you for the simple file. Okay, now it is good fine to go ahead. So it is within the title block. So now anything editing whatever you want to see over here could be gone under this gray colored. So whatever you see over here, you see a plan profile one. Now you see a plan over here. What exactly this drawing model contains, let me show you. Under this attached files, it contains one reference file, that is a geometry design what you are working in the view one. I'll just unselect it. It just shows me only uh, applying of your annotations. You could remove the reference by going to remove model reference. Instead of giving to all drawings, only for this drawing model, let me select it as so all drawing models no. So it will only remove the annotations from this drawing models. If you could see the other drawing models, it still has the curve tables and the annotations being present. So once you're done, if you remember when a create dialog box has been was opened up, I had checked on for the sheet index. So let me go into the main file. Now I want to export this drawing file now. For that, I would go under this Explorer tab. We have this sheet index. If I yes, you will see all this being selected. You could arrange this by making use of how you want to arrange up, down. You could change the name of the drawing by assigning the name over here. Say it should start from this. The moment I press this, okay. So all my drawing names gets updated. So now moving ahead, I want to take the print of one drawing. So that is the sheet. I could go over here in print organization. I want is a PDF form. Give it as a print. Not all selection. Go it under the same desktop. Body demo. So this is horizontal alignment. This is plan profile sheet and select it as save. So once the printing is done, you could go back over there and review what is what's been created. Coming back, so this was with respect to plan profile. In the similar way, let's do for the cross section. The cross section, you need the 3D view to be opened. Select over here cross section. I want it to be a framed annotation. And okay, selecting plan. Select the changes. Let us say do not select much. I'll just select at least some of the things up to this change and select this. You would notice that it is cut into slices in 3D views, that many numbers of cross sections at every 20 intervals over here. Now you see the drop down in cross sections at whatever the distance we might have created. So we will go ahead and create the cross section drawing. In a similar way, create drawing will come over here, frame and grid, and click OK. Now it will create me the sheet models. You could see the same over here. The drawing and the sheet model has been created. You could also do the same changes by going into the drawing models. You could see the name of that road. So the names of the cross section elements based on the given in the creation of the templates. Now once it is done in a similar way, now go over here and select any of the road. Give it as a print PDF. Save it into the desktop. Section PDF. And there you go. You're done with creation of your cross section PDF too. Yes. Once you're done with this, you could come back to your default view. So just go control 3D view and just switch off this layer. Draft name boundaries and go into levels. Draft name boundaries. quickly move ahead in doing the 3D view. That will go on a 3D drive through here also. Select the central line. 100 kph. Snippet. Here camera targets. What height you want to view. Come over here and start your drawing. So you could be able to see your 3D drive through in this manner. You're going on the bridge portion. So there you go. Yes, this completes the complete workflow of OpenRoads Designer. Thank you.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.